The first story that everybody wants or is voting for in the chat is the FBI destroying the Epstein prison footage.
What is that, Rob?
So it turns out, here I have a news article on it. It turns out that the the FBI may have destroyed the tapes of Jeffrey Epstein's
page 11.
jail cell.
Okay, let me read it and we'll get into it. So, Epstein files reveal FBI authorized destruction of master copy prison footage in 2024. Page 11. Is this it, Rob?
Yes, sir.
Go for it.
New documents show the FBI destroyed its master copy of surveillance video from the night Jeffrey Epstein died before public demands for its release grew. When the agency later put out footage, it was a screen recording with a 1-minute gap. Officials initially blamed a nightly system reset, but records show that theory was never verified. Congress later released the full video, including the missing minute, which showed nothing unusual. The Justice Department has not commented.
Rob, what is this?
This is a report that came out, I believe, 2 days ago that the FBI destroyed the original master copy of the jail cell video, which may or may not have shown somebody sneaking into Epstein's jail cell on the day of his death.
How do you process that, Tom?
Well, the FBI is the nation's highest, most elite law enforcement. When we have things across state lines, when we have things that are major frauds, they partner with the SEC on major financial fraud. But here you have the highest, the elite of our law enforcement is actually destroying evidence, not preserving evidence. I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked. This kind of takes it back to when the FBI, and now we've seen it, 60 years later, how there was evidence from the Kennedy assassination that was not preserved, that it was missing. And what it leads to is the public, and I'm part of that, just doubting. It's like, how can you have faith in an organization that's supposed to be investigating one of the most significant crimes we have of the most significant player in this insane, scandalous, horrible, multi-level crime operation that apparently that was going on on that island. And the guy that gets killed, the evidence isn't preserved.
When was this destroyed?
It just destroys my faith in the law enforcement.
When was this destroyed, Rob?
I believe, according to the emails, it looks like it was destroyed the day or the day after Epstein's death.
So it says in June 2024, an FBI agent was granted authorization to destroy an evidence item labeled 1B60, which turned out to be the master copy of the prison surveillance video from Epstein's final hours. The FBI described this destruction as routine because the underlying criminal case was closed and the evidence was considered no longer pertinent. Later, when the Justice Department needed the footage, again in 2025, they did not have the original master copy, so they worked to reconstruct footage from a secondary system recording. The reconstructed video has a gap of about 62 seconds that wasn't captured. But who destroyed it and when?
They destroyed it 2 days after he died.
Who's they?
The FBI authorized.
What is this FBI agent's name? Do we know?
They don't. It's redacted in the files right here. It's the black bars in this email.
So XYZ advised. Rob, can you please read the blue?
Sure. Redacted advised that the only one hard drive of the camera system was working at the time of the incident on August 10th, 2019. When a DVR went bad, none of the cameras recorded. There was a system failure of DVR2 on July 29th, 2019, and the motherboard failed on DVR2 on August 8th of 2019. The hard drive failure occurred on August 10th, the same day Epstein died, 2019. After the incident, Redacted was asked about the cameras. There were 2 new hard drives to install, but installing the new hard drives would mean that all prior data would be lost. The warden wanted video, and so Redacted was told to start working on the system. Redacted started removing the bad drives in order to rebuild the DVR. Redacted advised that an FBI agent was the one who pulled out the DVR. Redacted also advised that he knew that by replacing both hard drives, the system would be wiped, and that he had advised personnel at MCC of that.
Could we take a second?
So they knew what they were doing 2 days later.
Tom, thank you for saying that. Can we just all, for 1 second, get on the same page? Why? Why would the FBI do that? So 2 things one of these has to happen. Either he was removed, when the camera's down, footage, everything, get him out, put a body in there, and just say, oh, it was Epstein because they fumbled everything, pal. Or number 2, someone came in, killed him, and then they left, and they don't want to show it. So let me just really fast, Pat. This is why people have questions like me all the time. When he tried to kill himself on July 23rd, that footage was accidentally deleted. Okay, he said himself he was assaulted and he did not commit attempt suicide. Then again, against protocol, they moved him out of suicide watch and 6 days into unit without constant monitoring. On the night he died, the guards missed the 3 a.m. and the 4 a.m. rounds. They apparently fell asleep and browsed the internet. Both later admitted they falsely recorded records for that night. His cellmate was removed 2 days before he died. Protocol, again, messed up. 1 day before his death, he made an unmonitored phone call, violating prison policy, claiming he was calling his mother. By the way, she'd been dead for years. And then the cameras malfunctioned, all right? And then the jail itself hadn't seen a death in 21 years. Okay, and then there's a 4chan post by prison guard Roberto Grivalva made hours after Epstein died, claiming Epstein was wheeled out, shackled in a wheelchair the night before. An unauthorized trip van arrived without logging in, and a person inside was wearing an army uniform. Think about that. And then the crime scene was destroyed immediately after he was killed. All right, inmates reported hearing shrieks from his cell that night. Officials dismissed the reports. His body was found near-seated, kneeling position with his body 1 or 2 inches off the floor. Ligature around his neck. The marks didn't match the bed sheet. Pat, all of this aligns to either they shut the camera off or they deleted it. Somebody came in, grabbed him, they put a body in there, and they were like, all right, clean the scene up and leave. So then when people like me go, dude, the guy might be alive, because they never released an actual photo of him at Kha. It was always from the side, and he had a hook nose. And as everybody could see, he doesn't. That's not the facial structure of Epstein. None of it makes sense. The only thing, and then when people like us go, wait a minute, are they lying to us? Then you put these facts in, and then they call us crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
By the way, when this happened, the sitting president was Biden, and the sitting FBI director was Chris Wray, just so you know that.
Weird.
It's important to know that when that took place. Adam.
So here's what's going on in my mind. There seems to be all the stories regarding Epstein when he's in prison, like there's a missing minute, now things are being deleted,
Well, they were
the
deleted.
cops are falling asleep. This is why people have so many questions, and the story will not die. So what's the thing you talk about? Hanlon's razor? What's the definition of that? Never attribute to malice, which can be explained by stupidity.
Or a mistake.
Everyone that's in charge of the jail and the prisons and the DOJ is just bumbling, fumbling idiots, or there's genuine malice going on here. It can't be both. Can you just be dumbling, fumbling, mumbling idiots who are also trying to cover up everything? That's the challenge I have here. Pick a lane, guys. Either be like, yep, we cleaned it all up, sorry, nothing to see here, or we're absolute buffoons. We're running the government.
But
that's the problem.
But you remember, it was about a year and a half ago, and we were on the old set, and you were like, guys, nobody cares. On the list of priorities of Americans, blah, blah, blah. And here we are a year and a half later, Adam. It's the #1 talk thing about, now, by the way, and it's not going to stop. It's going to keep going because it's the latter, Adam. They're covering up because there's billionaires, there's powerful people. He was extremely powerful. He worked with the CIA. He worked with Mossad. All these people, he did all these favors, and then he's in jail. It's not so far-fetched to go, hey, listen, we're going to arrest you because we have to arrest you. We're going to make it look, the cameras are going to do this, the guards are going to sleep. We're going to look like you killed yourself, and then we're going to send your ass off to another country, grow a beard, and live somewhere else. It's not that hard. Adam, it's not that hard. Guess what? When we do this, the FBI deleted it. Fact, okay? Cash Patel is saying, there's nothing's here. BS. And now we know, and guess what? We can't do nothing about it.
So
nothing about it.
You don't even have to go that deep, Vinny.
It is not- but it's not-
No, I respect what you're saying, and I follow that line of thought in a lot of ways. But you don't even have to go that deep. The 1 minute is exactly the time when an assassin would need to get in to do it.
For sure.
And medical examiners around the U.S. all said, the limited pictures are there. If that's not a stage picture and this isn't here, then that doesn't really line up with this kind of a death. So you have medical examiners saying, shouldn't we look at this? This doesn't look right. and then you have the minute missing of exactly the time to get someone in there, just stop right there.
Yeah, you're right.
Just stop right there and then say, why would you erase the hard drive, or would you do things to erase it? Remember, they erased a hard drive in 1963 in Dallas, Texas, and his name was Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah.
Right? If you think of it that way, when you lose evidence at the exact appropriate moment,
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
And when you do stuff like this, and then you have people like us questioning it, they call us crazy. It's like when you have a pizza shop in Washington, and the owner and Podesta and his brother are all talking weird stuff about $60,000 worth of pizza and kids, and bring the kids in the hot tub and everything. And then we're called crazy. No, you guys are crazy because you're horrible at covering up your crap. Because evil at the end, Pat, when you talk about bad policies have bad consequences, your stupid, evil, demonic selves are going to show yourselves.
Hey,
are going to
Pat,
show
take a
yourselves
look here.
'cause light always wins. You
Rob just ran
morons.
this. Let Pat talk.
Sorry.
Look, Rob just ran this poll.
I saw it.
That's
Yes,
our yeah.
52% believes he's still alive.
Which is
44% believe he was killed. 5% believe he killed himself.
so
Suicide.
nobody thinks he killed himself. Can I just respond to Vinny
Yeah.
real quick? By the way, I'm with you on how passionate you are. Don't misconstrue me not making this a top 3 issue in my life.
You said the country doesn't. You said nobody cares. Nobody. And now look at how Adam. What's the number one thing right now?
I'm gonna give you
the
some-
stock market. Everybody's like, the stock market. Nobody gives a damn. It's perverted, pedophile, probably cannibals, probably disgusting demons are running the show.
Okay.
And they're untouchable.
I mean, I'm with you. I'm gonna
yeah.
talk
So
slowly.
it's not you.
I'm going to talk slowly, so I'm with you right now. It's not just me, it's the data. 6 months ago, we ran the data of, they said, what are the top issues that everybody in the country is focused on? And it showed 1 for Epstein. Like, I'm talking the entire country. And we go, oh, 1%? And they go, no, 1 person had this in their top 3. So 2 things can be true at once. Everyone is worried about the border, immigration, their pockets, affordability, their family. Like, that is the number 1 issue for everybody. Separately, we could also want answers on what's going on with Epstein. 2 things can be true at once. It's not just whether this is my number 1 story or not my number 1 story is irrelevant. People want accountability. I totally get that. But none of this is affecting genuine people's lives.
Yeah, go ahead,
Last
go ahead.
thing. Something that I focus on, maybe some people can use this little trick. It's sort of a Venn diagram. It's things that matter and things that you can control. And where you should focus are where those 2 things intersect.
This
We
is
have
not
no
the time for
control
that. This-
over Epstein.
No, but this is.
Do we have control over Epstein in the
Adam, then
documents?
if that's the case,
Pam Bondi can't even do it.
If that's the case, what the hell are we doing a podcast for?
I'm not
You think you
saying-
have control over the stock market? You think you have control over, Bad
don't.
Bunny? You think you have? This is called a discussion for the audience to
course.
sit there and they want to see what different people's opinions are.
Yes.
What
we
I'm
should
saying,
discuss it.
I
We're not-
understand.
but we're not investigating.
I understand having control or not having control. We're reacting to the different stories that are coming up.
A new Faith Over Fear hat is coming soon to a theater near you. But I just wanted to say, this morning I was listening to Billy Graham, which, Pat, you told me to listen to him. You're like, Vinny, dive in and listen to him. So I'm getting ready in the morning. I'm just listening to Billy Graham, and he said something that I hadn't heard in a while, and it was the Apostle Thomas. When Jesus rose from the dead, Thomas wasn't there to see the resurrection. So Thomas goes, I'll believe that he rose if I get to put my hands in his wounds and in his side. So then he finally sees Jesus, and he goes in there. He goes, God, Thomas, God, put your hands in here. And Jesus looks at him and goes, because you have seen me, you believe. Blessed of those who haven't seen me and still believe it. In that moment, Tom, it hit me. He's talking about us. Okay, we weren't there. We didn't see Jesus walk. We didn't see him die. We didn't see him rise from the dead, but we believe, and that is faith in real time. And he's talking about us. And the last one, you mentioned the story about the Nigeria that we're sending 200 troops. Trump is sending 200 troops. They're saying they're not going to do anything crazy, but think about that. Think about the priests. Think about the parishioners in those churches that were bombed and murdered and slaughtered, and they were in that church praying and saying, please help. That is faith over fear in real time. And that's what we're about. That's what the brand is about. And I can't tell you how many people see me with the shirt, because the shirt's on the back, and just tap me on the back and go, I'm with you. Or they see this hat and they go, where can I get that hat? So you can go on vtmerch.com, get the hat. We have the hoodies. We have Here Am I, Send Me, which is Isaiah chapter 6, verse 8 as well. But yeah, just go to vtmerch.com and pick it up.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.